Welcome to this look at a new mod pack to Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, this mod came out on Thursday the 16th. I was still at Lammer. Did a little bit of prep then. Came home Friday and a couple of internet issues and bits and bobs, technical difficulties. It's a problem when you unplug everything and take it away with you and you come back and then you can't work out why it's not working. But here we go. Let's get, so all I'm saying is apologies for the delay. This is the Palfinger FLC 253 pack by Blacksheep Modding, 40.76 megabytes download. I'm going to say something now, actually. I'm quite pleased with the fact that we had quite a few mods that came out fairly late in the run of FS22. So in the 3-year cycle, fairly late in year 3. What I'm liking is the fact, I suppose because they were the last things that some of the modders worked on, some of those mods have appeared very early on FS25, this being one of them. It's a great pack. What I will say now is there much different in this pack between the 22 version and 25? Not a huge amount. I'm trying to remember whether it had all the various different options for trailers and stuff like that. I mean, it had the same trailers, but options within those trailers. And obviously, if you've got the colour picker thing, you've got some metallics and bits and bobs like that. It operates pretty much the same way. So, we've got the FLC 253, which is the forklift itself. And as you can see, these hook on the back of the lorry trailers that also come in this pack. In the pack, we've got the Krona Trailer Profiliner, the Krona Trailer Profiliner Multi-Steel, and we've got the Load King Force Line. The forklift is 7 slots. Then the trailers are 13, 9, and 8, and we will go through them in various different operations. So we've got curtain sider. Now, the curtain sider comes with various different options, which we'll have a look at momentarily. As you can see, very nicely made and detailed. We've got a few different options on the way that can unfold. The back doors open as well. Over here, we've got the multi-steel. Now, you can have the option with that as a flat deck or with the sides on it. And again, this has got a few different options for the way the sides open up. And then we've got a full flat deck, step deck. This one actually sits really high. I was looking at the back of this, and I got a real SnowRunner vibe to it, like the off-road trailers. It sits quite high off the ground, but does exactly the same thing. So anyway, let's crack straight along with the forks and then everything else in the pack. If we're going to have vehicles, there's our forklift trucks, there's our Palfinger FLC 253, 37 grand. So as far as price goes, cheaper than the base game ones that we know at the moment already at 37. So even if you didn't put it in the back of a trailer as a forklift, because it's got the clever running side to side sort of crab mode, which I think makes it more versatile than these sort of anyway. I think it runs a little bit slower if I recall correctly. That runs at 10, that's at 12, that's at 6, yeah. So it's slower, but if you're going to use it in the yard and stuff like that, and it actually turns on an absolute dime, I think for the price, it's pretty cool. So options on this, we've got beacons, no. We've got one, so left-hand side, right-hand side, and both. Main colour, does the main colour, as you can imagine. And again, with metallics and stuff like that on there as well. Then rim colour and license plate option on there as well. Nice and straightforward. That's the Palfinger forklift itself. If we come out of there and then we come down to our trailers, these are under semi-trailers. Actually, let's have a look if they're under flatbeds as well. Yeah, so under flatbeds too. So they'll be in various different sections, yeah. So I just went in under semi-trailers, but you'll find them in various different places. So there's our Profiliner trailer. So that's your curtain sider. So you can have it with the Palfinger design, you can have it Krona, or you can have it with the giant software logo, or you can have it blank. So if you have it standard, you can change the design colour, cover colour and stuff on it to suit whatever vehicle you're using. If you don't want to have all the logos and bells and whistles on the side, you can change that if you want to. I think I've gone for, yeah, what did I go for? I went for the Palfinger and the giant software, just because it looks good on the thumbnail, I thought. Anyway, chassis colour we can change as well. So if we go for that, say go blue, you'll see all underneath there. And again, you can go for a metallic on that if you want to go for metallic. Design colour does the side impact protection. Let's go for a yellow that stands out. There you go. And the metal surrounds around the doors at the back as well. Those change. So side impact, the support at the front and back, that's what changes under design colour. The Palfinger system, so on the back where the actual forklift truck attaches, we can change the colour of that if we want to. There you go, we've gone for green on there, then rim colour and license plate option on there too. From there, we drop down in the menu across here. We've got the trailer Profiliner multi-steel. So this one, we've got design 1 and design 2. So let's say you can have it as a flat bed, flat deck, or with the sides on it. With the sides on it, it doesn't have a capacity, so it's not like, you know, having one or the other. It might be you just feel you'd rather have the sides to, for whatever reason. For whatever reason you might choose. Same thing with this. Chassis colour, we can change that. Design colour, let's change that so we can see what that changes. There we go. So your front side impact protection is on your design. Second design colour changes the panels. So that changes the panel colour. Now again with that, it comes, I say, fairly flat. If you want to go for a sort of, a full-on metallic, I don't know. There you go. So you can go for the full metallics, which the base one does, but you might want to tweak the shade, colour, that kind of stuff. Again, that's up to you. Again, Palfinger system on the back, change the colour of that. Rim colour and license plate option on there too. Come out of there. So the Load King Force Line trailer. 35, I mean, the prices well aren't too bad. 29,500, 24,500 and 35. So nothing break the bank sort of thing. So again with this, chassis colour and rim colour and license plate option on there too. I don't need to show the chassis colour, which kind of makes sense. So this one doesn't have sides on it. They all have tension straps as well, which is quite handy for making sure nothing is flinging around all over the place. So let's have a look at this first. Then we'll have a look at how that operates. This one's fairly straightforward, obviously. It's the trailer back. Your forklift attaches onto the back of it, which you'll see on the other two I'm going to show you in just a moment anyway. That'll attach in exactly the same way. Tension straps all across the back deck, which you can do out from outside or you can do from in-cab if you want to. That's probably the most basic, straightforward one to look at anyway. So, it's the forklift itself that I think is absolutely brilliant. I really, really like it. I just kind of set this up just to show you a few things loaded up, you know. As you do, again, thumbnail stuff. I also grabbed some bags and I also grabbed an IBC just to show you a varying group of things. But your forklift will pick up anything. That's kind of the point. So, there's our giant software one with that on the back. What I'm going to do is hop in, start the engine up. Now, if you look top left, you will see we've got our, well, at the moment we're on the lorry itself. You've then got triangle, goes to the trailer, then triangle again, goes to the forklift on the back. So if we detach it, we drop it off like that. Now, if I'm on the back at the moment, if I attach that back on again, if I back up and attach it, if I try and turn the engine off now, it won't turn the engine off on the lorry because I'm by pressing triangle, I'm on the forklift. If I press that now, I'm actually going to start the engine on the forklift. So it's that thing of when you pull up and stop somewhere, just because a couple of times I walked off to do something and thought, there's an engine still running. Why is there an engine running? Because I was on the forklift, I'd actually turned the forklift engine on, plus the lorry engine was on. I hadn't actually turned either off. So if you make sure you go to, press triangle and go back to your lorry, you can then turn the engine off and you can walk away and neither are running. So just, again, it's a minor thing, but just something to be aware of. So what we'll do is switch back to the forklift on the back and we will detach it, like so. So what I'll do now is show you the options on the trailer and then we'll go on to the forklift itself. So this particular one, the curtain sider, if we go R1, it says curtain side left back, curtain side right front, right back, and then left front. I mean, it does start on left front, but I do it back. So left front, left back, right back, and that's the direction in which the curtain side will open. Now, interestingly with this, you can't have both sides open. So I thought there might be an option you could have left and right, front or back at the same time, but you can't. So at the moment, let's go to left front. And if I go then L1 and open curtain side up on the D-pad, there you go. So it all goes like that. I would have said that. Hang on a second. Let's close that back up again. It's curious. Did I press the wrong button? Left front. Okay, so my brain was saying to me, with it on left front, it would push the curtain to the left front. But I assume what that means is it opens from the left front to the back. And if I go left back and then do it, it opens from the left back and pushes the curtain to the front. Okay, so I mean, that obviously kind of makes sense, but... And then you can do the other side, but like I say, you can't do both at the same time. If I do L1 and open back door, we can just open the back doors. So if you want to load it from the back doors only, if you back up to a platform or a loading bay or something like that, you can load straight onto the back like that. So curtain side or back door or both, it's entirely up to you. You can close that back up again. I'm just going to double check this. So I guess the other thing within the menus to point out at this moment as well is you can't then change that configuration unless you've closed the curtain. So if I go R1 now, I've lost that option to change where it opens from. So I have to close it first. And once it's closed, it will then give me the option to change where it opens or closes from. If I go R1 now, the option has come back in again. So note to self, note to anyone. Again, I often have people message me saying, I don't understand it, I can't work out what the controls are. Have that help window open, top left. If you press, it depends whether you're playing console, Xbox, whichever one it is. L1 will give you one set of controls, R1 will give you the next set, L1 and R1 will give you another set. Everything is normally there, so anything you should need to know about whatever it is you're using should be there. Once you get used to doing it, you can then close that menu down, you haven't got to worry. But if it's the first time, it doesn't hurt to have that window open. There's no shame in it at all. I know people are like, oh yeah, but it doesn't look real and it kind of shows you don't know what you're doing. Who cares? Doesn't matter. If it's the easiest way to work it out and learn, absolutely go for it. So, as far as then putting the forklift back on it again, what you would do is just drive this back up, get close enough to it. You can either drive this right into it or back the trailer once you've kind of got close enough. Back up until it says attach, and then you attach that back on. Nice and straightforward for attaching and detaching. So what we'll do now, let's have a look at the operation of the forklift. And this, I say, for 37 grand, I really like it. I mean, we'll get other modded ones, and there'll be cheaper ones and more expensive ones, and ones that do all sorts of stuff. As I say, I'm really pleased this has come now. So this is in transport mode at the moment. And what you'll notice in transport mode, if I go L1, R1, L1, R1, there's no option. I can't move the forks. There's no option for, in this mode, to move the forks. This is just the transport mode. So it puts the forks like that in the position to load up onto your trailer. That's that option. If I now go to here, it says work mode. If I press X, that now drops those sidebars down, puts it in work mode, and now I've got my options for the operation of my forklift as you would kind of be most used to with any other forklift. So up and down, our lean forward, lean back. Then under R1, we've got our forks open and closed. And then we've got this option again, which I say, if you watch the 22 one of this, you might be completely new to the game, and that's fine. But this goes right the way forward, which is great, gives you a nice extension. But even more than that, it then goes from there, and those extend right out. So you can really, really stretch this out. So for loading onto stuff that's a long way back, or both sides of a trailer, or whatever it might be, you have to be a little bit careful with that option. If you're carrying something very heavy on the forks, bear in mind, the further out you're pushing them, the more you're putting on out all the way there, and the back can lift off the ground. So it's just, you know, just to be careful. But that's a brilliant option. I really do like that scissor option. The fact you can extend that out, again, makes it very versatile. Plus those arms that have come down, if I go again from there back to transport mode, the arms go back up, it sits in a position ready to load onto trailer. With those arms, you can bring stuff up, especially wide stuff like, well, I'll show you. Stuff like the long planks, wood beams, anything bigger, you can kind of rest them on that. So if they came down, or not they come crashing down, but if they come down, you can actually rest them on those arm supports if you want to. Again, you don't have to do what you like. I'll push those forward a little bit just so we get to there. Go on to that. Raise that up and then bring that back in again. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, why did that not like that? I'm glad I checked that. That's weird. Why is it doing that? Let's try that again. Lift up. Make sure we're right out of the way of that. Let's pull that back again. Yeah, it's kind of... Oh, right. Do it slowly. It should be fine. If I bring those forks back down again, that pallet, that whole pallet can then rest on those arms. You might get a little bit twitchy like that here and there. But anyway, it'll rest on those if you want to. But as you can see, the raising and lowering in and out of it, you might just want to go a little bit slower. That is odd, isn't it? I'll tilt that back. Is that going to move on the arms? That's curious. Not that. Look, I found this. It's just, you know, like I say, and it wouldn't necessarily be if I hadn't have decided to pick up some wood beams or some planks. I might not have even noticed it. You know, just be aware of it. But what is also very cool about this, again, this is for our first person. I do like the steering as well. It's got a nice smooth steer to it. Sometimes in the vehicle, especially using a controller as I am, it can be very, you suddenly get this sudden jerky movement where the steering wheel seems to snap. This has got a really nice smooth movement on the steering. And as I said, this will absolutely turn on a dime. But again, it's not the only forklift that will turn on a dime. I know there are others that do. Beacons, depending on what options you went for. I went for left on this one. I think I've got one left, one right, and one left and right on the ones I picked. Lights. So we don't have. Don't think we've got a horn, have we? No. That's an interesting one. But another cool feature of this, one that I really like, and like I said, I kind of said the crab feature. I know that's not what it's actually called, but let me just check this pallet. What side do I need to be on this? Yeah, definitely the way around. I've got it. So let's go for our IBC. Let's get this front lights on so we can see nice and clearly. Let's lower that down. That will go between the arms, which is quite handy. So we'll bring that up like that. So if we're going to load this onto a trailer, now it might be that you get up to your trailer and realise you're in the wrong position, and that's fine. Of course it is. It might be that you're actually moving stuff around on a trailer. So it might be you've got a whole load of stuff down this end, or you've got a little bit here, you've got some at the other end, and you might need to shuffle a load of stuff up to put more stuff on the back. This feature, this next feature, is brilliant, and I really like it. So if we go to R1, it says toggle steering mode, press L3, and it does that. So it kind of moves you a little bit to the side, so from the outside it moves your position, as you can see. If I put that back again, if I go toggle steering mode, so that it just moves you as well as the wheels, and then when you accelerate, you go that way. When you brake and reverse, you go that way. So you can go down the length of a vehicle. Now, you haven't got much steering, if any, with that. You are pretty much parallel to the vehicle, so you need to get as parallel as you want, because if you're at an angle and you go forwards and backwards, you're either going to get closer or further away to the vehicle. So you want to be as parallel as you want. Obviously, at the moment, I'm not close enough to be. So what I will do is I'll toggle my steering mode back. If I get closer to the vehicle, like that, for example, let's do that and then do it. No, not that. Let's try that again. So we do that, and then we do that. And now, if I accelerate and go onto here, I can lift up, and again, we can push forward with that fork. So that will get me to there, but then even further forward gets me right to there. Now, I can get much closer, of course I can, and I would probably need to be a lot closer if I want to load up to the far side of the trailer. But again, it's just showing you, and that IBC, there's a bit of weight on that. There's no real movement. If I back that back in again, just trying to see if we see any weight shift on the forklift, that pretty much stays the same. Doesn't seem to be any huge shift in weight, but it's also something, just like I said earlier, just be aware of if you've picked up something particularly heavy. But there you go. So the side-to-side option, I think it's brilliant. It's very, very useful, especially, you know, not just for the fact that you can go along the side of lorries and stuff like that. Oh, that's a good point. I've just demonstrated. It's very, because you're so used to the way a forklift works, if you've just done that and you're in that mode and you go to back away but you haven't changed your steering, you're going to just move up and down the vehicle. Of course you are. So let's change our steering mode back. So then we want to withdraw from the pallet, and then we can move away. There we go. Or then go side to side back down the vehicle. Yeah, I think not just for the fact you go along the side of vehicles, for operating in tight spaces, for the fact you can turn on a dime and then go side to side. Yeah, I think the forklift alone is a very, very cool piece of kit. Anyway, that's the forklift itself. Let's actually, you know what I should do? Let's do that. Stored energy and all that. So what we'll do, finally, we will look at this trailer here. Like I said, this one here is fairly straightforward. This one's got a couple of different options for the way the sides open, so we'll have a look at that, and I'll show you again with the forklift attaching. It's, you know, like I say, it's fairly straightforward, but doesn't hurt. So at the moment, the forklift is in its load mode. If I back up a little bit, there you go. Say attach. On we go. We're ready to drive off and do what we want to do. Detach it. Off it drops, and we're good. Right, so let's move forward. So as far as this trailer goes then, if I go R1, you've got side tailgates left and right. Now it actually starts off with, if I go down the D-pad, it starts off side tailgates left, side tailgates right, side tailgates left and right. And that's why I said, on this one it does it, but on the curtain sider it doesn't. The curtain sider, you can't have both sides open at the same time, but this one you can. So I go back to side tailgates left, and then we go L1. If we open our side panels, takes the supports away. There's our left side open, ready to load, however you want to go about it. So if we go close those side panels back up again. Nice sound effects, nice animations. And if we go to do it again, if I go right, it's just the opposite of what we've just seen. If we go left and right, then you can open both sides up at the same time. L1, up on the D-pad. The whole lot will open. Like that. Now we do have tension straps on there as well. So, you know, it depends how you feel about it. Because you may well argue, well, if you're going to open both sides up to load it up and it has got tension straps anyway, why don't you just pick the option you showed earlier where you just have it as a flatbed? You can. Of course you can. That's entirely your choice. But it might be, for whatever reason, people prefer to have the one with the sides. It might be something they've used in, or they see around their local area, or, for whatever reason, it's nice to have the options. And it works really well. So again, apologies for the delay in getting this out. I love it. I think it's a great pack. It was great on 22. It's great now. That's the Palfinger FLC 253 pack by Blacksheep Modding. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thanks for watching.